Hi everyone, my name is Serena. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a vlog, and I'm doing a vlog for the All the Words a Page readathon. This is a Shakespeare readathon. I have never read anything by Shakespeare, only just, a little bit of snippets here and there when I studied it in high school. But I saw this readathon on Olivia's Catastrophe. She is one of the co-hosts. The other co-hosts are Cara from Wild Book Garden and Julia from Shakespeare and Such. I will link their videos down below. And this readathon is divided in 3 parts, and depending on if you've ever read Shakespeare, or if you've read Shakespeare or read a lot of Shakespeare, you have different prompts. So there's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I'm definitely a beginner because, I never read Shakespeare. And the prompts are to start a play, read a retelling, and watch an adaptation. So I'm gonna do that today. And yeah, I look like this because it is Sunday afternoon. I still haven't got, ready. My plans for today are to go shopping because I want to see if I can find some clothes for a graduation party that I have in a couple of weeks. This is the second time I go out shopping after Mr. COVID, and I went, I think, last month at the beginning of June, and it was strange because everyone had a mask. And I live in Sicily, by the way, in Italy, and the stores, most of the stores didn't have changing rooms available. Some did, and I mostly bought from there because I like to try on my clothes. But a lot of them didn't. Who knows if now they will. I have a feeling like that all summer is going to be like this, for the rest of the summer, and then in September maybe things will change. But also the entrances of the stores are limited. There is a little entrance and a little exit to control the crowd traffic, and then there's hand sanitizers at the entrance of every store, so that's good. We'll see if some things have changed. I doubt it. But yeah, I'm going to get ready, and while I get ready, I'm going to talk to you about what I started. Last night I started reading Romeo and Juliet. And guys, let me just tell you, this is going to be a Romeo and Juliet vlog because it is the play I'm most familiar with. Olivia has also advised me to begin with that one because it's the most familiar one. I know the story because I have watched adaptations. I've watched the Leonardo DiCaprio one. I don't remember others right now, but I have watched that. I do know the story. I have watched a play, an Italian play actually, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm most familiar with this story. So I am going to read the play. I have started the play last night before going to bed, in the middle of the night. I have started reading that, and I've read the first act. And I have to say, and I was expecting that, the language is different, obviously, and it is more difficult to get into, obviously. It is, what is it called? Middle English? Yeah. I have studied that in high school, so I was expecting the language to be a little bit strange. I mean, in high school I've also studied the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, and that had like an old Italian language, and I always hated studying that. We studied all of that. In Italy, you have to study the entire Divine Comedy, at least in my school we had to, and yeah, that was not fun. Anyway, so yeah, it's hard to get into the language, but as I said, I know the storyline, so it is more easy. It's easier to know what's going on, obviously. I've also checked if on Scribd there is an audiobook, because, you know, I wanted to see how the audiobook is, and it's a full cast theater audiobook, so that's cool. But I have to say that at the end of Act 1, there is, you know, the balcony scene, and they were making kissing noises, and that was cringy. I was laughing so much during the night because of that. And then I just stopped at the end of Act 1 and went to sleep because it was late. And now I'm going to continue. What else do I have to talk about? You know what? Let me just read you something. For example, Benvolio says, "Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east." I think it does it mean an hour before sunrise? That I find that so hilarious how they talk. And of course it is a tragedy, a play, so it's a lot exaggerated. I mean, I never read a play, but I was expecting it to be a little, like, very, you know, exaggerated and not how people would really talk. At least not today. Anyway, I can't believe how young these kids are. I think Juliet is almost 14, and Romeo, I've searched. Shakespeare doesn't really say how old he is, but he is young as well, I guess. And this, you know, I think this story is the first Insta love story. I may be wrong, but, you know, there is Insta love. I think he was interested in another girl, if I'm not wrong. But then he saw Juliet, and all of a sudden he fell in love at first sight. And she as well. They just fell in love at first sight. And Insta love, I hate Insta love, but, you know, it's such a classic. I can't be mad at it. Yeah, it's fun so far, even though most of the words I do not understand. There is like thou, thee, I know it means you. But yeah. Let me just put on my eyebrows. I wasn't sure if I was going to participate in this because I wasn't sure if I was ever going to read something by Shakespeare because of the language. The language intimidated me so much. But I decided, what the hell, let's try it. I do want to try it. I am reading it on my Kindle app. So while I listen a bit, I see the words. Because if I just listen to it, I wouldn't, you know, understand at all. So listening and reading at the same time helps a lot. And it is short, so I think I will finish it today. And the retelling that I'm planning on reading is short as well. Let me just go get it. This is unknown because it is Italian, and back, I don't remember what year was this published? Back in 2014, when this book came out, at the same time there was a play here in Italy going around called Romeo e Giulietta, Ama e cambia il mondo, which was a, you know, play inspired by Romeo and Juliet, and I went to go see it in the city. It was cute, you know. I have my ticket right here, and this is also signed by a few actors, and I think the author as well. And I bought this book because the author has written, you know, songs for the play, and I bought this book to see how it was, and I think this is a retelling. This has to be. I think it's about, you know, it says hashtag Romeo and Giulietta, Romeo e Giulietta, nel 2000 e niente. The fact that there's a hashtag, you know, underlines the fact that it is a modern retelling. I think it's about what if Romeo and Juliet lived today, I think. But I am not sure at all. There's not really a good synopsis here. But it is very short, and this is the only book I think that I own inspired by Romeo and Juliet. And it is 120 pages, so, and if I, you know, concentrate enough, I can finish this really quickly too, even because I do want to participate in the reading rush. Another thing that I have to do is film my TBR, my reading rush TBR today, so a lot of things. I'm just gonna finish getting ready and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Those are all the updates that I have right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, it is the next day. I didn't end up vlogging anymore yesterday because I did went shopping. It was very chaotic. You know, a Sunday, people always go there on a Sunday. And I also didn't find anything. I just found like a pair of pants. Let me just show you. A pair of black pants with a large leg. They're very, you know, light and perfect for summer. But anyway, I did end up coming back home and editing my reading rush TBR. I uploaded it. It is on my channel right now. And yeah, I just received a book. So basically I received a few books for, let me just put this down. I received a few books for my birthday and one was missing and it finally came. Let me just show you. The book that I received is Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. I cannot wait to read this one. I've been seeing this book everywhere and I cannot wait to read this one. The cover is gorgeous. I also received The War on Women. I really wanted to read this one because I want to read more, you know, feminist works, and this is nonfiction, I think, and it has great reviews on Goodreads, like 4.7. So hopefully I enjoy this one. And the last books that I received were gifts from my ex-roommates from Liverpool. This is such a bad angle and I'm also not wearing any makeup. I know, who cares, but you know, I could look better. But it's Outlander, the first 4 books. These are tiny. So tiny. It's like Bible. They make you think they're smaller than they are, but they're like 1,000 pages each, more than 1,000 pages. I did say 2 years ago in my books that I'll probably never read video, like the first one that I did 2 I think, that I was probably never gonna read Outlander. But between all the books that I mentioned in that video, I was very unsure about this one. In fact, I think it's the last one that I mentioned. And the only reason I said that is because it is huge. I love the show. I love it. And it just intimidated me that I said probably I will never read it. But since now I own the first 4 books, Outlander, Dragonfly in Amber, Voyager, and Drums of Autumn. I know that there are other ones. I might as well read them when I have the time, no pressure, but I do love the show. Let me just put these back on my shelves, and I have to find a place to put Felix Ever After. I think I'm gonna put this right here in front of Harry Potter. Does it look good? I think it looks good. The insta-love, the romance, they do not talk like this today. Juliet, by whose direction found'st thou out this place? How did you find this place? Romeo. By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. Cute. I just started this book. Let's see what this is about. I just really want to read a physical book. And I am on page 18. I don't know if it's focused, but Instantgram. Okay. Hey guys, so it's actually very late, but I wanted to update you and tell you that I've actually finished the play Romeo and Juliet. It was quick. The fact that I did know the plot, basically everything that was going to happen, that really helped, because the language was difficult at times, like most of the times, and if it was like a play that I didn't know at all, I would have had a much harder time reading it, but I did know the story, so it was way easier, and I did enjoy it. I give it 3.5, but as I said, I do not like insta-love, and this is just full-on insta-love. But at the same time, I wasn't mad at it, because it's such a classic, okay? You have accepted it, you know? And there were some parts, like Juliet's father getting mad that she didn't want to get married, you know, all those sexist stuff, and a lot of people died, and just, you know, they just got into fights and killed each other. There were some beautiful parts, beautiful writing, and yeah, a classic, I guess. Not a favorite book at all, obviously, but yeah. I have started, as I've shown you, Romeo e Giulietta nel 2000 e niente, and well, I haven't read much, but this is actually, it began, I'm a little bit confused as to what is going on. So it starts with this guy, I guess his name is Romeo, turning on his computer, and it takes 43 seconds for it to turn on, you know, officially. And he's talking about how today we waste a lot of time on technology, and that we are always online. Our lives are more virtual, especially our relationships are virtual, and there's less physical contact and less real life experience. He was also talking about like art and, I don't know, culture stuff, you know, less people go to theater and to the cinema and all that, because we all have technology. And I'm just curious to know where he's going with this. And now I was on a page, on page 20, I guess he's just waiting for his computer to turn on, and he was looking outside the window, and I guess his neighbor is Julietta, and he just looked at her like a stalker. He was like looking at her, and then he says at one point that, this is in Italian, I'm gonna try to translate it now. There are beautiful women that know that they are beautiful, and this doesn't make them beautiful. I'm like, what the hell? I think confidence is beautiful. Then he says, you, Juliet, ignore that you're beautiful. And, you know, basically he's saying that she's not like other girls, and he just stares at her from the window. I don't know. Like he's staring at her and watching her, you know, fold laundry. I don't know. I don't know what the plot is. I don't even know what genre this is. I searched on Goodreads. It is on Goodreads, but it doesn't say what genre it is. I think I have to do more research, but that's where I am right now. I'm going to go to sleep now because I have to wake up early tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I decided to watch Romeo and Juliet. This is a movie from 2013 with Haley Steinfeld and Douglas Booth. It is on Rai Play, which is an Italian, I guess, channel. And let's watch it. It is so cringy how quick the insta-love is. Seriously? Tybalt has such anger issues. Her father didn't care about the situation and he is so offended. Like, why? Chuck Bass is getting on my nerves. He's always angry. This is also really cringy, knowing that she was probably 15 when she filmed this. I don't know. And you can't hear anything because I have my headphones in, that's why. Oh, and I think the actor is 4 years older than her. So that's probably another reason why. There is a lot of kissing in this movie. A lot. I absolutely hate her dad. I hate him. This is so depressing. I just wish it could have gone differently. So depressing. That takes a lot of courage. I'm done. So, I just finished Romeo and Juliet, and it's actually a few days later than the last time that I've actually filmed for this vlog, but I just wanted to concentrate more on the rating rush, and now that that is done, I'm going to finish this vlog because, you know, and I have just finished watching the adaptation, and I have to say it was good. I find this story to be very depressing. I thought they were good, and I did watch it in Italian since it is an Italian channel. I tried to change the language, but I couldn't for some reason. I guess they don't let you. Just, you know, you have to watch it in Italian, that's it. And the language seemed similar. They, of course, made some changes, but they did say a lot of familiar stuff, you know, by reading the play. And yeah, it was a decent adaptation, I have to say. I don't know why I was expecting something different from this one. I was expecting something more modern, but it's a standard, you know, remaking of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, hi. I don't think I can continue on with this book anymore. I'm kind of halfway through. First of all, it has been a while since the last time I filmed because I went on a little vacation and I just didn't want to read. I just wanted to relax and have fun with my friends. But now that I'm back, something very, very, oh my god, just happened. Let me just explain. First of all, so far, this has nothing to do with Romeo and Juliet, apart from, you know, all of the names, the same character names, and Romeo is the narrator, and it's just like a long monologue. It's just like a long monologue of him talking, and he's actually talking to Juliet, which is his neighbor, who he stalks basically because he just looks at her from the window all the time and looks at every single thing that she does. And I just read a review, kind of a non-spoilery review, and the review said that Juliet in this book is a prostitute. But I have not explicitly read that yet. Maybe it's said after this page, but yeah, we have Juliet, then we have Romeo, who is going through a lot. It's depressing. This is depressing. It is also very, it makes me very uncomfortable because violent. Okay, so basically this book alternates from, you know, snippets of his past, him, you know, narrating snippets of his past, and very long metaphors and poetic writing that I just am not in the mood right now, just skipping through them. A lot of, you know, metaphors, talking about colors, talking about, and you remember when I showed you Instagram? He also writes WhatsApp differently. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can see it. It is what's up, like WHATS apostrophe UP. I'm like, what? Anyway, that is just a minor detail. He's also, as I said, very stalkery. On page 26, he says, Juliet, you who do not know that you're mine. You know, he basically says that she is his. Very possessive for, you know, you don't know her. You don't know her at all. You just look at her from the window. And basically she goes out and drops something, and I think he goes to get it. And when she goes home, and this is the part where I just stopped reading, she is desperately looking for this thing, and I'm like, if you have it, just give it to her. You're just looking at her hurting herself. And I can't really picture what she's doing. She's kind of hurting herself down there. I don't know. And yeah, I'm a little bit confused. He's telling part of his childhood. He and his brother Mercutio, they're brothers in this book. They went to a boarding school, a very violent, where they were abused, and there was this bully, Tybalt, who basically sexually harassed Romeo and made him do stuff. Then when they got out, Mercutio overdosed and all that. It's very depressing. And I don't know if I want to continue. Honestly, I don't. At least not right now. I just had to stop when Juliet was hurting herself. Hi, so I decided to continue, but I skimmed through the last part like very quickly. Basically, he was talking about the time he went to Africa. Then finally he starts texting Juliet, and she tells him that she's a prostitute. I guess she's a Muslim because Romeo said that she took off her burqa because she wanted to be more like the other girls her age, and wanted more freedom. She didn't want to have, you know, a lot of, you know, she didn't want to have company everywhere she went. I don't know. I didn't read it in its entirety, but I don't know if it's the things that he says are problematic. But anyway, I guess she's Muslim, and they started hanging out. She's a prostitute, and he watches her, you know, do stuff with her clients through the window, and all of a sudden she wants to give him a child. So she is pregnant, but then Tybalt comes back, and I guess I don't know. As I said, I skimmed through. He wanted her to get an abortion. Anyway, it ends with Romeo killing himself. And yeah, she ends up having the kid because there's like a letter that she writes in the future in 2040. But yeah, I did not like this book at all. Let's recap. I read Romeo and Juliet, the play by Shakespeare. I think that was a good choice, you know, to begin with Shakespeare. It was a 3.5 star for me. Oh, and another thing that the two had in common was the insta-love, because there was insta-love in here too. I read this, And I watched the movie, the 2013 movie. This was a good experience. Hopefully I get to read more Shakespeare in the future. I do want to. And if you have any suggestion as to what play I should read next, like, I don't know, one of the easier ones, one of the most famous ones, because I think I have watched it, like Hamlet. Was it Hamlet or Othello? Macbeth? I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, let me know. And this was fun. I'll hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!